everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features a very good rushing offense. The Texans lead the league in rushing TDs, and they'll go up against the 49ers, who will need to be stout up front. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, they broke ground on this place in the year 2000, opened it in August of 2002, and it's been the home of this franchise ever since. Welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room, and we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
So out come the Texans for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a man who won a playoff game as a rookie in 2011 from North Carolina. It's T.J. Yates.
The best quality of T.J. Yates is his poise. Unruffled when he had to play in some key games early in his career. Handled that very well. Understands how to be a good backup and is always ready to play when called upon.
On first down, Yates. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's going to be out of bounds right at the 40. The receiving numbers for Hopkins a week ago. 8 catches, 80 yards.
Look, I know everybody wants to be number 1 in everything they do, but he's number 2 in the league in receiving yards. That's a strong number, a strong year, and they want that to continue.
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
With DeAndre Hopkins, I think anyone who's calling plays for him has 0 limitations. And what I mean by that is he's a guy who can move outside, you can move him inside, play him on the left side, on the right side. It doesn't matter. Some guys, they have to have the ball in a certain spot. Not Hopkins. Long, short, intermediate, he just wants the football. And then after that, he usually does some pretty good damage with run after catch.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Looking to throw. Yates. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fuller. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. How about this for an opening drive decision? You got 4th and short, just outside of field goal range in all likelihood. What do you do?
I'm going for it. I've got to go get it right now. I want to establish a tone. It's early in the game. I want to let my offense know that I believe in them. And you know something else? I let my defense know I believe in them also by taking that gamble. If we don't get it, it's okay. You guys are coming for me.
Give him 2 on the play there. And that'll be good for a Houston first.
4th and inches, does he get the first? You bet he does. He knows exactly where he needs to be, and he's going to fight his way forward to get a couple of yards and ensure he keeps the chains moving.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Escaping the pressure right. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And it's now 3-0 Texans. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
This is fielded at the goal line. And an alley to run. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 20, 10, touchdown, 49ers. Aldrick Robinson taking it goal line to goal line, 100 yards. And the Niners have taken the early lead. An update from Buffalo. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed Kobe Brissett. An early touchdown pass in that one. From the goal line all the way to the other goal line on that one. A full 100-yard return on the kickoff. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
51 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. The 4th-year man out of Eastern Illinois, Jimmy Garoppolo, leading them out onto the field.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing one interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
Now a play fake here on first down. And this one is incomplete. And a quick look now at the offense for the 49ers.
Marquise Goodwin brings plenty of speed and jumping ability as befits an Olympic long jumper. He made the team in 2012, as you might remember. But what also he's looking for is an increased role as a wide receiver after leaving Buffalo.
Second down now after the incompletion. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Out to the flat for Hyde. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still third down.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. To throw is Garoppolo. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
And that's a great opening series defensively. You force what should be a 3-and-out on your opening possession.
And great coverage there on third down to force the incompletion to set up fourth. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 15. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Will Fuller was the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out. Off play action. Yates. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Aaron Lynch in there to make the play. It'll be a loss of 14, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. They run it again with Hyde. A second nice move, a spin. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Hyde. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. And we focus on Lamar Miller as he heads back out there and gets set to go again on offense. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. While we've got a moment here, Frank Gore moved up 2 spots in his game Sunday against Jacksonville this last week, Charles. He's now top 5 rushers all time in the NFL.
That's absolutely amazing when you think about it. The longevity of a career, the production of a career, and now you stop. I don't care who you are, you start thinking legacy, right? And think about who he moved past. He moved past Jerome Bettis, Hall of Famer, LaDainian Tomlinson, Hall of Famer. If you're Frank Gore, you're thinking your credentials are going to be up for the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. Start measuring for that jacket. He's at 13,697 yards.
Pass interference. Defense.
So instead of 4th down, 1st down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
After the penalty, it's Miller. And some space here. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there, because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. Operating from the gun, Yates. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
All right, Brandon, instead of breaking down, that last play, I've got to ask, is that time of year? Because don't the fantasy football playoffs start? Aren't we ending the regular season? And if so, how's your year going?
I know, yeah. In the Godden Family Football League, it is starting next week. I'm on a 6-game winning streak. I'm 9-4 going into the playoffs.
Look at you. Are you going to be the number 1 seed?
I'm not. I'm the number 3 seed, but with my win streak and where I'm at, I'm kind of like Aaron Rodgers and the Packers last year, except he's better looking and more successful.
So do you tell everybody to relax, or do you just guarantee victory?
Oh, I just guarantee.
There you go.
The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Yates. It's hauled in by Ellington. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. throwing on first down. Yates. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
All right, here we go. Green.
Back to the air on second down. Yates. That is caught at the 7. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. Looking to throw. Yates, and he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Second down, here's Garoppolo. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Garoppolo now, first down throw. He dumps it to Hyde. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will knot things up here late in the first half. And that three-point tally now means we are even here toward the end of the second quarter.
And what a way to end the half. Put some points on the board, feel better about yourselves as a team, and you're right back to even.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission as we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
All right, Brandon, back to you guys in a minute. But first, it's indeed time for our EA Sports halftime report. As we look at the numbers, the only thing that really matters is that we've got a tie game. We'll have another half here to figure out who can come out on top. All right, let's get it going. Here's the first half highlights. Now 1st and 10, Gates is going to find his mark, and he'll end up at their own 40-yard line before being tackled. However, they only come away with a field goal on the drive. Texans line up for the kickoff. The kickoff starts out at the 50, and he'll win the sprint to the end zone. The lead grows to 4. Now to late in the first half. Yates is on target here, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to the 23-yard line. Staying late in the second. Yates is on target here, and he capped off the 9-play drive with a TD, which takes the lead to 3. Still a little time left on the clock. Hyde's got nobody around him on the catch, and he'll end up at the 25-yard line before being tackled. But they end up coming away with just 3 on the drive. And with that, we'll wrap up our halftime report and head back out now to Texans Stadium for the start of the second half.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he is knocked down from the side, right around the 31. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. On that incompletion, it gives us a chance to sneak in a little bit of an oddity last week. You hear all the talk of East Coast bias in the media. Well, there was some West Coast bias in Week 13. All 5 West Coast teams were winners.
The first time that's happened since 1976. And think about what these wins meant, too. The Rams leading the NFC West. The Chargers tied for the AFC West along with the Raiders, who also won. San Francisco won their second game, but both over brand-name teams. They beat the Giants and they beat the Bears. And the Seattle Seahawks, still lurking out there, they're also in contention for the NFC West crown.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. It's George Kittle, the rookie, tied in with it. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, his second touchdown on the season. And the 49ers have moved out in front.
I know guys who design defenses, they try to prepare for everything. But you ignore the guy who plays tight end at your own peril.
Yeah, and he's like having another wide receiver out there sometimes, right?
Exactly right, because they're such a matchup nightmare, and they're hybrid guys. Are they receivers? Are they big guys that block? How about the one we just saw there? Catch it and go. Run after catch all the way into the end zone.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Back to throw. Yates. And he's got it. Fedorowicz. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. They'll try to fire up the running game with Hyde. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down.
Here we go now.
They'll give to Hyde. And he'll take this one down near the 15. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here we go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
Now Garoppolo. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Elsewhere, second half is underway up in Orchard Park. The Bills have taken the lead late in that ball game. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Tyrod Taylor, a couple of touchdown passes thus far. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They go play action here on 1st down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A good pickup there at 22.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Forced out to his left. Going deep for Hopkins. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Yates, and his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're thinking of
rush coming, and he's taken down.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the fourth quarter. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Looking to throw. Yates. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on fourth down, this is a big call.
Holding offense.
So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bipema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And now out comes Houston. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Back to throw. Yates. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. He finds his target, Fuller. They convert on third with a gain of 22. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Bruce Ellington, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way to the end zone for the touchdown.
It's up and good, and the lead's now down to 3 at 20-17. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Zach Cunningham in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
On second down, Hyde. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Hurry up, here we go.
A 10th carry for Hyde. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Well, things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now? Run with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle. Kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
He's back to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Fuller. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
Left side, Hopkins. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A good pickup there at 22. And 2 big plays, one after the other. Now all of a sudden, they're on the march.
Got to feel good about what they've just gotten done, and now feel really good about what's in front of them.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
23 yards on the play. He has been terrific today, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Running flawless 2-minute drill right here. This has been quarterbacking 101 with a flourish.
They'll look to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking there for Bruce Ellington, and that'll bring up second down. Well, these corners, I tell you, they've done excellent work all game long.
They remind me of guys in the past who just said, hey, throw it out here 100 times. Nothing good is going to happen. And if you throw it in the wrong place, I'll take it the other way.
Back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Point after try forthcoming. And that will make this a 4-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The game is finished, by the way, now in Cincinnati. And it's the Bengals that wound up winning that one. Andy Dalton, 2 touchdown passes in the W. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. A field goal does him no good. They need a touchdown.
And right now, in his mind, in his memory bank, he's drawing on times that he's done this before. Not necessarily in the NFL. College, high school, pee-wee ball, wherever. Anything positive that he remembers about taking a team downfield with a chance to win, he's going to draw on that for this drive.
I'm sure that these guys live for these moments. Here we go.
Here we go now. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Carlos Hyde was the target, and it's second down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Back to throw. And some room to roam now. Got some real estate inside the 30. And look out, a big hit to the shoulder pads took him right off his feet at the 13-yard line. And now a first down following that long gain. To throw is Garoppolo. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now Garoppolo. This will be caught at about the 5. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game.
Here we go. Blue 90.
Garoppolo to throw. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Well, no doubt an electrifying finish to have it down inside the 10-yard line. That final shot, though, they couldn't get it in the end zone, and that's all she wrote.
And they had the final shot. The last snap taken that close to the end zone. They don't get it in, so they'll regret that. But flip it over, making a stand in that portion of the field, congratulations to them.
So for Houston, the win is their 5th of the year as they move to 5-8. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they're squarely in play for next year mode now as they drop to 2-11. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.